I'm just going to spend a couple of minutes showing you progression, our guitar tab editor. We're going to dive straight in with our window here. We're going to go and use one of our templates to get going really quickly. I'm going to pick up the Power Trio. So it's going to set up a guitar, bass, and drums. And we're going to add some notes really quickly. I'm going to show you some quick note entry and then some of the great sounds that we've got. So, key thing about progression is it's easy to get notes in and it sounds great. So all our samples are played in by Neil Zaza for guitar and Victor Wooten on bass and Roy, the future man, Wooten on drums. So getting notes in, if you've never used the software before, I'm just going to zoom in a little bit so you can see what's going on. If we have a mouse, we can use this palette at the bottom to put note entries in, and you can just drop a note on either 5-line notation or directly onto tab. And then you hit enter to put that in. But there are quicker ways to getting it in. We've got this nice guitar fretboard here, so you can actually build up your chord and audition it. And if that's the one I like, I can actually then put that right on the score. Of course, we can put chord symbols onto that as well. Put some more notes in. Here's our chord library. So you build up the chord, find the chord you want. So that was kind of an E minor E chord. Where you want the guitar to be played, and you just drop that over the top there. And all this can be transposed, so I can transpose that up and down, and the chord diagrams will change. As well as the chord symbol too. So kind of simple to use note entry. But to really get going quickly, we can use a MIDI instrument, like a MIDI keyboard here, or we've got a MIDI guitar here as well. So anything that MIDI, if you've got one of Fishman's triple plays, for example, you can have your pickup on your guitar and wirelessly be notating on your tab or lead sheet while playing your guitar over here. But we're going to use our MIDI keyboard. And I'm going to use one of Scott Van der Helt's riffs. He's been around showing off the metal pack for Studio One, for Empire, a new thing for NAMM. So I've basically stolen one of his riffs. And we're going to put it in here. Hopefully he's not around to see this copyright breach, but we're going to go. So what I'm going to do is press record. And here we've got some presets, so a preset for keyboard and a preset for guitar as well. So really thought about how you play notes on guitar and how loose that chord is before it actually is a separate note. And you can go around and change those presets and really set it up for your own note entry. We're going to hit record and put in some notes. So that'll do for now. So you can see, so it'll automatically go into tab and standard notation. And if I press the button tab on my keyboard, I can actually see how I played that. You can see the MIDI information there, how long and short the note can play, and I can edit that without affecting the actual notation itself. Let me just zoom in so you can really see that. You can see the MIDI value of the velocity here, and I can actually overdub that MIDI value too. So I've got real control over how my score plays back. What I want to do is really clean that up so I can now just quantize to the notation I have written. So it's really clean, and you can just see those all even out. So that's some of the sounds. We can put some effects on there as well. So notated effects like palm mutes we can just put on. And all these things have got nice easy to use keyboard shortcuts, so just M for mute. We just chuck those on. And then perhaps some slides. The great thing is they're notated, but also they're going to play back as well. So we've got those samples in there too. So the next thing we can do is actually change the string tuning. So we're going to just drop these down. We can go into the settings here. Go into our notation tab. Show just tab, for example. We don't have to have that 5-0 notation there as well. And drop things down by a half step. And that will affect obviously the numbers, but also how it sounds. So it's going to sound a bit heavier and a bit darker. Let's hear how that sounds. What we have to do now is just drop in a couple of drums, which we can do with progression. Go to our drum pad here, and we have our drum pads for actually entering notation for drums. And we can put that stuff in too. So I'll put a little bit of hi-hat on. And you can just put in notes that way. And this time I'm just going to press record. I'm going to record in my bass part to go along with this. So here we go. Bass part going now. Next thing is just going to my mixer. I can choose what amp I want the thing to be played in. So progression comes with a simple to use amp. I'm going to come over here and just hover over there, and it shows me I've got a metal amp. Push the gain up a bit, and there we go. What I'm going to do now is just export the whole thing as audio, so we can really hear how it's going to go. I can obviously print this out, print this PDF, print my lead sheet out. So I can do that. Let's export the whole thing is audio, or I can just export just a guitar part, or even just a measure. So I can export that one measure out as a WAV file, bring it into Studio One, and then build up a loop from something I've actually notated in the first place. But I'm going to just do the whole lot. Export audio. I can do it straight to SoundCloud if I've got my account connected. Press OK, and that's just going to say that to my desktop. Just going through the whole thing. So it's going to hit OK, and now I can see that now saved to my desktop. That's my WAV file. Of course, if I'm on the move, the last thing I'm going to do is save that file to Dropbox or save it to iTunes, and I can open up that in my matching tab editor on iPad. So just open it up. So I can work on that on the go. So it's not just a reader, I can create tabs from scratch, and I can use my guitar fretboard for entry there, connect up MIDI keyboard or guitar into the bottom here, and there we go. So that's progression. It's $49 for desktop, $4.99 for iPad.